get it. All the records are in the data set now. For each data row dr in ds dot, what are you picking? Come on, yeah, that is simple English, na? Tell me, what are you picking? You're picking a data row from the rows, from the table rows. From the table rows, you're picking one by one row. After picking one by one row, what am I doing? You know, I'm going to create a customer class instance. Customer cust is equals to, I'm going to create a customer class instance here. Okay. So here, I'm just going to do one thing. What are the attributes of a customer? Customer ID is equals to dr of, you can specify the following customer ID. But the return type is object. So let me say, convert into integer. Let me convert this into integer now. Okay, comma, second one, name is equals to string of dr of name. Balance is equals to decimal of dr of balance. City is equals to string of dr of city. And status is equals to bool of dr of status. You're creating a customer instance. But what is the return type? List. So here, let's create a list first. List of customers is equals to new list of customer, empty list. Now in the for each loop, what I'll do? Customers dot add. Add what? Customer. Customers dot add customer. Finally, once the loop execution is completed, what will you say? Return customers. You're just going to say return customers. That's all. Array, you explained about this particular coding already long back in your in your database programming earlier. That's it. We are returning a list of customers. Same way, another method, public customer underscore select. What do you pass? Customer ID. Okay. So you want to find a single customer. You want to return a single customer here. Okay. If at all you want to return a single customer, first you need to find out how to find. Listen. ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot. You already learned about this method in your NT framework also. Find method in your ADO.NET classes you learned. NT framework you learned. Return type. Sorry. Parameter. Customer ID. This method will fetch the data based on the primary key. Remember, you added a primary key. What is the primary key? Customer ID. What it returns? Data row. It returns one row. It returns one row. dr is equals to. Okay, dr is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot find method. Okay, returns you a data row. Once the data row is returned to you, what you'll do? You can create a customer object. Customer is equals to new customer is equals to new customer. Same only here. What did you write? A similar code. Copy, paste. Directly in the last word you say return customer. Here there is no list. So directly what you can return is a customer. A customer data is what you can directly return in this case. Okay. So this is to return multiple customers. See, you declared a list of customers and returning, but here it's a single customer. What you're returning? Simply create a customer and you can return the single customer record. What next? A method for insert, a method for update, a method for delete. Public void what I used. Yeah, these are the two methods. Void only. Void customer underscore insert. What do you pass? Customer. You're going to pass a customer. And guys, you want to insert a record. You want to insert a record. See, right now, my data set is loading the data from XML. How many records are there in the XML? 1, 2, 3. 3 records. 3 records means 3 rows. Where every row is called as a data row. Every row is called as a data row. How many rows are there? 3 rows are there. What do you require to do? You need to create a new row now. You need to create a new row. How do you create? Data row dr is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot new row. Tables of 0 dot new row. This method will create a new row. This method will create a new row. Guys, this code here, I already explained for you in your C# classes. Go and check it out. Working with the data set. You can just, we have learned all these particular things. Creating a row, assigning values to the row, adding the row, updating. All these things are explained for you in the C# classes too already. So first step, you need to create a new row. How to create? Data row dr is equals to ds.tables.0 dot new row. We'll create a row now. Once after creating a row, assign values to the row. Dr of customer ID is equals to. Where are the values? The values are in the model. The values are in the model. So customer dot cust ID. Customer dot cust ID. Repeat the same process for all. This one, customer dot status dot city dot balance dot name. Here also change name, balance, city, and status. Once after creating the row, what you'll do is you need to add the row to the table. You need to add the row to the table. How to add? ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot add. Add what? Add the data row. Add the data row. You cannot add the customer. If you add a customer, there's no point of creating this again. You need to add a row. So first create a row. Once after doing this, all the changes are in the data set. What do you do now? ds dot write XML, simply call write XML, which will overwrite the XML data, customer.xml. What are you doing? You're writing it back to XML. See, first we call read XML, manipulated, write XML. Write XML will rewrite, overwrite the content. So now, after this action, your data, your XML file should contain 4 records in it. Should contain 4 records in this. That is the write XML what we are using. Write XML, yeah, I'm showing you that only. Again, you're asking the same question. Write XML. When you call write XML, it will write the data back to the XML file. There is no other method. Write XML is what you call. Fine. What next? A method for update. Customer underscore update. What do you pass? Customer only. What do you pass? Customer. You want to update a record. Which record? Which record? User selected record, user opted record. So what you require to do first? First you require to call find method. Remember, when you call edit, first you find the record. Afterwards, we need to manipulate it. So same story here also. What? Data row dr is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot find. Find what? The appropriate record. Customer dot customer ID. Passing and getting the row. Means first you're finding the row now. You're finding the row. And this contains old values in it. This dr contains what? Old values. Where are the new values? New values are present in the customer object. So what to do? Dr of, you're required to manipulate. What you're required to manipulate is every record you just required to manipulate now. Okay, Dr of, and you just required to manipulate the data. See, when you're manipulating the data, first understand when you're manipulating the data. So this data row contains, now you need to manipulate the data. Manipulate the data in the data set. Manipulate the data in the data set. But how to pick a record in the data set? To pick the record in the data set, we require row index. There is a table here. 4 records are there. Assume like there are 10 records. You want to update the 5th record. You need the index of the record now. Which record? The index of the record. What do we find? TR. How do you get it? Look, int index is equals to ts dot tables of 0 dot rows dot index of the row. 10 records are there. Your intention is to update the 5th record. Are you getting me? Your intention is to update the 5th record. So what to do? You require to get the index of that record first. How to get? We can call the method index of, pass the row, and you will be getting the index of that record now. You'll be getting the index of that particular record in this case now. So we got the index. What next? Manipulate it now. How? ts dot tables of 0 dot rows of, which row? Index. Which column? Name column is equals to customer dot name. Customer ID. Why do you manipulate customer ID? Customer ID is always read only. We don't manipulate the customer ID. What you need to manipulate is only name, balance, and city. Status also not required. Name, balance, and city only will be manipulated. So copy. Now second one, balance. Third one, city. Balance and the city. Finally, once all the changes are done, same story again. What's it? Write XML, customer.xml. This is going to overwrite the content which is present for you in the XML file. Okay. So guys, the next operation is going to be delete. If at all you want to delete, if at all you just want to delete, 2 things. Do you want to delete the record permanently or you want to update the status? If you want to update the status, there is the same code what you require to write, but not updating all the columns. We need to update only status. Okay. How do you write? Public void delete customer underscore delete. Customer underscore delete. What are you passing? What are you passing is the customer ID. What you require to pass is the customer ID. Okay. So here guys, for this method, without passing the whole customer, I don't require to pass the whole customer. What I should pass? Only customer ID. That's enough. Again, same. Find out the row. Data row dr is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot find. Rows dot find dr. Sorry. Customer ID. Rows dot find customer ID. Again, pick the index of it. Int index is equals to ds dot tables of 0 dot rows dot index of dr. You got the index of it. So listen. What is it? Where? Okay. You got the index. Now tell me. You want to perform a permanent deletion or you want to just go for updating the status? Update the status. That's enough. If at all your requirement is a permanent deletion, if your requirement is a permanent deletion, I'll comment it. Just watch. ts dot tables of 0 dot rows of index dot, that will delete the record. You are pointing to the index and calling delete. No, I want to update the status. If you want to update the status, already on the top, I shown you how to update the record. ts dot tables of 0 dot rows of index of status is equals to false. That's it. So choice is yours. What you just wanted to do. You wanted to delete a record or you wanted to update a record. Okay. Anything you do. But exactly guys, my intention is to delete. My intention is to delete. So if at all your intention is delete, just simply call the delete method, which will delete the record. Okay. If your intention is to update, the second line. Okay, what next? DS dot write XML. You're overwriting the content into it. Customer dot XML. Guys, in the notes, I given you step-by-step process along with the comments. Read it. First, create a data set. Afterwards, ID of data table. You're adding a primary key now. What next? You want to select. You want to select. How do you select a record? You want to update. You want to select all the records. You want to select a single record. If at all you want to select a single record, what you require to do first? You're required to find the data row based on the primary key. You want to insert. First step, create a new row. Second step, assign values to each column of the row. Third step, add the row to table. Fourth step, save the data back to XML. Next, update. What is the first thing? You're required to find the row based on primary key. Next, you have to find the index of the row. Next, why to find the index, sir? Because you can refer to your row only by using the index. Next, what you're doing? Overriding the old values of the row with the help of the index. Next, saving the data back to XML. You delete. First, find the row. Index of the row. Delete the row. Save the data. All the steps what I given with comments to you. What exactly I'm doing up in each row. Okay. Yeah, done. What next? Controller. What is this here? This is a DAL class. What next? Controller. Add a controller. We'll name it as customer controller. Customer controller. Okay. In the controller, the first step, import the model namespace using MVC project dot models. Import the model namespace. Next, create the instance of DAL class. Create the instance of your DAL class. Customer XML DAL OBJ is equals to new customer XML DAL. And once after creating an instance of the class, the next steps are going to be same. Watch. Look at it. First method. Display customers. What are you doing? Return view. OBJ dot customers underscore select. Customers underscore select will fetch you all the records. Second step. Second method. Display customer, single record. You need to call the method customer select, customer ID. This is already I explained all these things for you in your entity framework. Same coding. Only thing is there we used a database here. Not entity framework also. Link example. Link. First one. Link. On that day I've written a DAL class and shown you all these things. But there we got from database and today we got from XML. Third one. Insert. Watch it. First, add customer. Return view. Empty view is what we want first. Next, add customer. And we are just going to call the method. Which method? Customer underscore insert. Redirect to action. What next? Edit. When you want to do an edit operation, what to do? You're required to pass the customer for it. And afterwards call the update. And finally, a method for delete operation. The code in this methods is exactly same thing what I already explained for you in the in your link to SQL. Nothing to explain. These view creations and all are all same. Only point here, only difference, listen, when you're working here, I'm sorry, when you're working here, the only difference what you all require to remember, there we are dealing with the database and here we are working with file. There we are just dealt with the database, but here we are not dealing with the database, we are dealing with a file here. A file, this is completely a file management what we are doing. Okay, fine. What next? What next here? The next thing is going to be, you just required to create all the views. You're required to create the views now. Okay, so let's create the views. First view for display customers. Right click, add view, raster view empty, display customers.xml. Display customers.xml. Okay. Delete the existing content in it and put up your code. And this code you can observe. This code is exactly the same code what I already explained for you in your ADO, in your entity framework to you already. But only thing is, wherever you need controls, I did not use HTML helpers, but I used tag helpers. What I used is tag helpers. Have a look. Come from the top. First, IEnumerable customer. Sir, no need namespace, no need. Why? You opened an MVC project or empty project? Because you opened an MVC project, view imports.cshtml is already available. Importing your model namespace, check it out. Model namespace is imported. Project namespace is imported. Tag helpers are also imported. All these things we done manually in the previous class, remember? But now, no need. Everything is automatically defined for you. Everything is auto-implemented. Okay, no need to do it. So directly in your code, @model, IEnumerable customer, no need to write MVCDH project dot models dot customer. I don't require to do that. It's automatic. Next, H2, next table code. No difference in the table code, see? See the first TR, header rows, no difference. This is the same code what we learned in our, here I don't have a tag helper, guys. Display name for, I don't have tag helper. I have tag helpers only for controls, not for creating labels and all. For header columns and all. So that's way. Next one. Here also. Display for, this is also same code only. What did change, This changed. What we used, @HTML dot action link, and we used the action link. But what are we using now? Directly an anchor tag. Which method you want to call? Display customer here, edit customer here, delete customer. Okay. And guys, listen, you want to pass a value for the methods, How did we pass? New of, open the curly brace, customer ID is equals to the value. Okay, but here how do you pass a route value? To pass a route value, this is the process. ASP-route- customer ID. Understand this one? This is fixed here. ASP-route- is fixed. Afterwards, you can use your property name now. Customer ID, name, status, whatever you want, you can use. So this is fixed. From where to where fixed? ASP-route- is fixed. And here you can tell your property name. Today your property is customer ID, you're passing. If your property name is name, you can pass name there. If your property is a balance, you can pass balance there. Whatever you want, you can just use that route here. Is equals to, this is same again, customer ID. How did you write this in your MVC5? Tell me the same code. How did you write in MVC5? This is how we written, @HTML dot. We used to create an action link, right? Action link. First parameter, the text. What is the text? View. Second parameter. The second parameter is the action method name. What is the action method name? Display customer. Display customer. The third parameter is controller name. The third parameter is a controller name. Which controller? Customer controller. The fourth parameter is route values, new of. Open the curly braces and here you should write parameter name. Customer ID is equals to at the rate customer dot customer ID. At the rate customer dot customer ID. This is how you used to pass. Okay. But now it is a simple anchor tag only. Attribute to tell the action method. Controller name, optional. If you don't tell the controller name, the default controller is always the same controller. If you want to tell the controller name, what you write? ASP-controller. Next, the route value, ASP-route-. Here, you can write your property name. These are auto-defined, automatically coming into picture. See, tomorrow, if at all you want to pass a route parameter called balance, how do you write, Balance equals to. If you want to write a route parameter status, ASP-route- is fixed. After that, put your name, what do you want to pass. And right now, our property is customer ID. And this is the text what we want. Suppose in this process, you wanted to use any JavaScript code. If at all you want to use JavaScript code, how do you use JavaScript code? On click is equals to, and you can write the JavaScript code. And how did we use the JavaScript code on that day, Again, new of on click is equals to return. This is how we used to write. Return confirm. Whatever text message you want to give, you can just give the text message. But here, no need to again say new of, and all these particular things are not required here. So straight away, on click is equals to, and you can give your message. Okay. Now, what next? The text you want, delete. Okay. And come below. Here we have a TR, a TD. Now, what do you have? Another action link. Another action link. ASP-action, add customer. There is no parameter for that. Directly add new customer. Add new customer. The only difference between our MVC5 and MVC core is wherever controls are there, I used HTML helpers in place of, I used tag helpers in place of HTML helpers. Apart from that, nothing changed. Apart from that, nothing got changed for you here. We used tag helpers in place of HTML helpers. Apart from that, nothing got changed. Remaining all code is same only. What next? Display customer, add view. Display customer. Look. Watch. Just a second. Just a second. Watch. Model. Sorry. I did not copy display customer here. I copied of add customer. Our show copy is display customer. The wrong code. Mr. Santosh, stop the video. Look. It's exactly the same code, only no difference in this code. TD, customer dot model dot customer ID, model dot name, model dot balance. This code did not change, guys. Understood? Status. And this is for backlink, which takes you back to the customer details. What next? Add customer, add view. Method name, sorry, view name, add customer. This is the model code. Watch. Form, controller name, action method name, method. What next? Div, label, ASP for customer ID. Understood? Next. Label, input. Label, input. Label, input. And already you know that based on the data type, these controls will automatically generate for you. Text box or check box or data type, based on it will create for you. Next. Input buttons. See which code is simple. Tag helpers are HTML helpers are. Tag helpers are easy or HTML helpers are easy? Tag helpers are easy. Then compared with your HTML helpers, see, simple input ASP for a customer ID. That's all. But there at the rate HTML dot text box for again C lambda expression C dot customer ID. But here very simple code. ASP for is the only attribute what we just have. Tag helpers are much simple and easy to work with when compared with your HTML helpers. Lastly, create a view for edit customer also. Add view. Edit customer. Same story again, because we already know that insert view, edit view are always same. Only thing is insert view will come with empty records, edit view will come with data in it. That's it. Yeah, again the same thing only. All this customer ID, name, balance, city, status, and here back to customer data. Okay, where to start from? Display customers. How many records are there in the XML? 3. All the 3 records should be loaded. You know one thing, sir, I feel HTML helpers are comfortable to me. You can write it. That also here. That also works. HTML helpers also will work for you. There is no point like you're required to use control KD, man. For aligning, I already explained you. The things are control KD for alignment. Control plus K plus D. Hold on here. Running on taking time to load. Let's change to IS expression. Unable to connect to web server. Exit. Started off. Not found. Why? Home is there. Home index. They're already there. What happened to this channel? Just a minute. Something wrong with my AS Express. Running here. Yeah. Something wrong. Just closed and opened. That's all. Okay, fine. You can just see the project executing. What's a controller? Customer. What the method? Display customers. Unable to cast string to into 32. It's not converting. Convert dot to into 32. Then we'll get an error here also. To decimal. And here to Boolean. There's the same problem here also then. All are same here. There are no performance issues at all. Why convert dot? Because customer ID is integer. Customer ID is integer. Customer display customers. 3 records. View, edit, delete. Okay. Click on the view button. Click on the edit button. Opening a view for editing. You can see, you can edit the record. Click on a insert button. 104. How many records, sir? 103 now. I want to insert a new record. 104. Okay. Matan balance some 50,000. City Mumbai. Status. Say Boolean checkbox is created automatically. Save. Not only here, you want to see that the change will reflect in the XML file also for you. Watch. Check out. The changes are reflected in the XML file. Is that clear? I want to edit it. I want to edit this record. So edit. I want to make it as 55,000. Update. Changes reflecting in the XML file automatically. I want to delete that record. Delete. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Deleted. Come to your XML. Deleted. Understood all of you? Okay. So this is how we can just go for working up with the XML. So same way in a database also same only. If you want to work with a database, no sir, I don't want XML, I want to work with a database. If you want to work with a database, what will you do? In the DAL class, your code is implemented targeting. In the DAL class, your code is implemented targeting XML. If in the DAL class, if I write the code targeting a database, all these operations are performed on the database now. Views won't change, controller won't change. DAL class. Are you getting my point here? Okay. Guys, if you understand this particular thing, I'm going to tell you one important concept here. What's it is? Okay. What you have done, just let me summarize all these things from the first. First, I created a project. I created one XML file in the project. Second, I defined a model class. You know how to define a model class. I don't require to tell you. Now I defined a DAL class. I just gone for defining a DAL class. And in the DAL class, I've written all the logic to manipulate the data from XML. Manipulate the data, XML, selecting, inserting, updating, and deleting. Finally, I defined a controller class. And in the controller class, I called all the action methods for you in this. All the action methods are defined. Now, after defining all the action methods, finally, we gone for creating the views. The first view is to display all the customers. The second view is to display a single customer. A third view is to create a add customer. Fourth one, edit customer. The fourth one is a edit customer. Okay. So these are the codes what we are writing, and a simple HTML, regular HTML code only what I have implemented here. Yes, Sai Kumar. Okay, this is a regular XML code what we are writing, nothing new here. Sorry, regular view code. But a view code, we did not use HTML helpers. What we used is tag helpers. Now see, what is the problem in the above implementation? What is the problem in our above implementation? All of you carefully listen. I'm telling you a very important and a new topic where you are compulsory ask these questions in interviews today. What is it? What is the problem in the above implementation? As we can see in the above customer controller class, to get the customer data, controller depends on customer XML DAL class. So within the controller class, we have created the instance of customer XML DAL class, and then invoking all the methods of the class as per our requirement. So there is a tight coupling between customer class and customer DAL class. See, in the DAL class, we created the instance of the customer. Tomorrow, if the DAL implementation class is changed, then we also need to change the code in all the controller classes where we used customer XML DAL, because controller and DAL are tightly coupled with each other. What is that exactly? Guys, I'm developing one application here. I'm developing a product. You know, when you talk about softwares are two types: projects, products. What is a project? A project is something which is developed based on client requirements. A project is something which is developed based on client requirements. In the sense, client comes to you, tells all his requirements to you. I want so and so application. This is what. Then after we listen to all the requirements, we tell him the budget. How much is it going to cost? If he agrees, we start the work, develop the application, give it to the client. And this application is, remember, specific to the client only. You cannot give it to any others. You completely developed based on the client requirements, and that is specific to the client. This is called as project. This is called as a project. The second thing is product. What's a product? Product means here we don't develop anything according to client requirements. We develop a software in general and start selling it to the general public. Antivirus softwares. Antivirus software, you see, is the antivirus software developed based on our requirements? No, antivirus softwares are not developed based on our requirements. They developed it and started selling. MS Office, Visual Studio, all these are products, not projects. Now, there is a college, and for the college, they want a software. To manage the students, they want a software. So because they want a software, they approach the software company asking to develop a software for them. And they're given all the requirements and they will develop. And remember, your cost will be very high because I am developing the application for you specifically. You need to just spend a lot of money on it. Are you getting me? Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing, there are so many school and college automation softwares which are available in the market readily. You can directly use them. So many softwares are available in the market. You can get it for a less cost. If at all you want to develop a software completely and you go to your software company and they may quote you 5 crores or 6 crores to develop because the employee salaries and all, I just require a lot of investment. Employees won't work free of cost. I need to pay for them. It may take some 6 months to 7 months to develop the software. A lot of time is involved here. So they quote. But if at all you just go for a ready-made software which is available in the market, you can get it for 1 or 2 lakhs. You can get it for 1 or 2 lakhs maximum. If you can customize and all, some 5 lakhs you can spend. You can just get off a automation software in the market here. Are you getting my point? Okay. So now products. Let us talk on the products. Did you understand products now? Products are developed in general and sold to multiple people. I developed a college automation software. And when I develop a college automation software, the college has called me and asked me, what is the cost of it? I said, our application cost is same for all, but the cost varies based on the database you choose. You purchase a car. When you purchase a car, in the car, lot of interiors will be there. Leather seats. You have leather seats. You have resin seats. You have fabric seats. Cost varies. If you go to fabric, it will be less in cost. If you go to resin, it will be a little bit more than the fabric. If you go for pure leather seats, the cost will be high. Because durability varies, na? So based on that, the cost is going to vary for you. So basically, we are going to specify what are we going to use now. So in this process, remember all of you, in this particular process, we can tell like whatever we just want to. So same way, the product, when I'm giving a demonstration to the college, I'm telling application is same for all. The cost varies based on the database only. If you want a normal data storage, okay, I can use XML. XML is going to be a part of your application. It doesn't cost much for you. It is free. Application you pay 1 lakh, XML also included 1 lakh, I'll give you one. But if you opt for SQL Server database, we need to purchase SQL Server licenses and all this particular thing. And the cost is going to be 1.5 lakhs. The cost is 1.5 lakh. And someone is asking, no, I want more security and all these particular things. So I'm suggesting, okay, go with Oracle database. If you go with Oracle database, the cost is going to be 2 lakhs. Are you getting me? The cost is varying based on the data storage, based on the data storage. So like this, everyone may prefer different databases here. The college is using Mac machines. The college is using Mac machines. SQL Server will not run there. Are you clear? So I need to use a database. What is supported on the Mac? What is supported on the Mac? Means based on various parameters, cost, operating system and all, this database can be varying. Are you clear? So everyone wants to use a different database here. But the problem is, right now, you've written all this code using XML now. Tomorrow, if you want SQL Server, what to do? You're required to write one more DAL class. You're required to write one more DAL class, something like a customer SQL DAL, and you're required to implement all the logic targeting to SQL Server. Same way, Oracle, one more class, Oracle DAL class, and you're required to implement all the logic targeting to Oracle. MySQL, one DAL class. Like this, the DAL classes will increase in the future now. What will increase? The DAL classes will be increased for you. Different DAL classes can come for you. Some one XML DAL, one SQL DAL, one MySQL DAL, one customer DAL, like this. Now, these DAL classes are used in your controllers now. Array, DAL class is used in the controller. Tomorrow, 10 controllers are there. You're using the DAL class in all the controller. Tomorrow, if you want to change the DAL class, you're required to modify the name in all the controller classes also now. So tomorrow, if the client is asking SQL DAL, I need to change the, say, in the controller class, if you remember, here you use it the DAL class name. Tomorrow, if your target is to SQL, I need to come here, change the DAL class to SQL DAL. If the DAL class is Oracle, I need to change to Oracle DAL. If one place, if I need to change, fine. But if there are 10 to 20 controllers, I need to specify the DAL class name in all places now. Are you getting my point or not? Why, sir? Because there is a tight coupling between, the controller and the DAL class. There is a tight coupling between the controller and the DAL class. Read again. As we see in the above, customer controller class, to get the customer data, control depends on XML DAL. So within the controller class, we have created the instance of customer XML DAL class and then invoking all the methods of that class as per our requirements. So there is a tight coupling between customer controller and customer XML DAL. Tomorrow, if the DAL implementation class is changed, then we need to change the code in all the controller classes where we used customer XML DAL, because controller and DAL are tightly coupled with each other. Did you understand my point or not? They're very tightly coupled with each other. So whenever there is a change in the DAL class name should be changed in all the places. Some are 10, 20 places, so we use the DAL class in all the places we should change. Why? Because there is a tight coupling between these two. Then how do we avoid this particular problem, sir? To avoid this particular problem, we use a concept called as dependency injection. To avoid this particular problem, we use a concept called as dependency injection. We can use the dependency injection and we can resolve this particular problem. Okay, so what is this dependency injection? And how do we use this dependency injection in our applications? I'll teach you in the next class. But what you do is, first, all of you, write the code till now. Okay. And remember, we opened a project today, MVCDH project. This project only, I will continue. As I said, you authentications and authorizations and all this in this project only. So be up to date, create this project and do up to here. Tomorrow I'll teach you dependency injection. and we will write one more DAL class tomorrow targeting SQL server. Controller won't change, views won't change. What will add, only a new DAL class will come. Next day, if Oracle comes, another new DAL class will come. But then also controllers and views, nothing will be changing for you. The same controllers and the same views. We will not change anything at all. Just only a DAL class will be a new DAL class. We'll specify the DAL class name in one place, and that reflects to all the controllers in the project. Okay, that's a beautiful architecture what we have called as a dependency injection pattern. It's a design pattern. It is a, see, design pattern. What did I say? Design pattern doesn't talk about application development. Design pattern talks about only a part. See, now we have a problem and we are going to resolve that particular problem by using dependency injection design pattern. Is it clear? So we'll talk about it in detail in the next class, but do up to here, be up to date. Tomorrow we'll see an SQL implementation for this. Okay, let's stop here.
Recording stopped.